Hi friends. In this video, we'll be learning how to use the Twixtor plugin while still being able to use time remapping in order to slow down your footage and keep 60 frames per second. There are many tutorials like this, but they're quite hard to follow, way too convoluted, and quite often restrictive. So today, I'm going to be making this tutorial covering a quick and easy method that I've used time and time again with no failure. If you happen to find this tutorial useful, please let me know I've done a good job by liking the video and sharing it with all your friends. Now for this tutorial we'll be using Fortnite gameplay, as it's one of the hardest games to use Twixtor with. So if you happen to be using anime or another game or even real life footage, don't click off because this tutorial will still do you wonders. So here we have our clip right here. What we're going to do is we're going to pre-compose it, press adjust composition and move all attributes. But if you are mid-edit and have only realized that your footage is really low frames, you're going to Command Z this, pre-compose, and press leave all attributes. So if we just Command Z again, use this as an example, let's just look up any preset, doesn't matter, we're going to apply it, you can see we have the things, we're going to press leave all attributes, and the effects are still applied. So we're just going to continue on with the tutorial, move all attributes, adjust composition duration, there we go. So, now what we're going to do is we're going to double click onto it until we're in the composition. Then we're going to go up to the very top left, composition settings, duration. Now we're going to make this something really long. So, for the purposes of this tutorial, the clip I have is 45 seconds long, so we're going to go to 50. You just want to make sure that this is nearly an hour long, that you have godly amounts of time to stretch this out to. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to duplicate it. Then we're going to hide the bottom layer as we'll be using this for reference. Then we're going to right click, pre-compose the top layer again, and we're going to do keep all these settings but untick adjust composition. So this way the pre-comp stretches all the way across your timeline. So what we're going to do now is we're going to apply the Twixtor effect. Oop, made a little typo. Now I'm going to be using Twixtor Pro, but this works just fine with Twixtor, you just don't have these little tweakable options that I do. So we're going to set the FPS to 60, and this is based on the footage's original FPS. So if you're using real life footage or an anime, it might be 24, it might be 12. I'm going to have on the screen some way to check it using your file explorer. So since this is a game, we're going to be using 60. And we're going to set the speed next to 6. Once again, if you have a different FPS value and at the end it looks really choppy, you might want to change this to 7. Because of some mathematical error, I'm not even sure, I can't really explain it. 6 works for me, we're going to be using 6. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to play around with all these settings. I like to use motion weighted blend, keep it on inverse, and edge contrast. But honestly, you can just play around with all these at the end of the product. They really don't change much. So now that we have everything sorted, we're just going to scroll through. As you can see, the clip is very long now. We're going to go to the end, and as you can see, it blacks. So we're going to find the point in the clip where it doesn't black. Sometimes it will start to fade out, but you want to go it before the fade out happens. And you can usually tell when this happens because the movement comes back. So right there, you saw that tiny movement. When the movement stops, we're going to press Ctrl-Shift-Delete to split the clip. We're going to delete the other half. And now that we have our clip in full in its entirety, we're going to right click, pre-compose again, but this time we're going to adjust duration to the clip. So now we have everything we need. The next step we're going to do is going to right click, time, enable time remapping, and then we're going to bring this slider at the end all the way in, and then hold shift so it lines up with the front. Once again, Ctrl-Shift-D, delete the end, and now your entire clip is normal. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to mute the audio on this and turn on the bottom layer's audio because all the audio gets condensed into the first second and it just sounds horrible. So if you still want audio, use the bottom track. So now, if we go back, we can see that it works. Hold on, let me just turn this to quarter quality. And yeah, that's pretty much it. What we're going to do now is we're going to show that it works, we're going to do time, enable time wrapping. Select a really close point. This can be replaced with anything. You could be doing an impact, a transition, a slowdown, a super slow-mo, anything you want. My purpose here is that it has slowed down the frames internally, so if you ever have a really tight time remapping here, the frames per second will be smooth as butter. Okay guys, so just a quick editor's update. Here I am with the final montage that you guys saw at the beginning of this video. I've added a couple effects, added some music, added some transitions, all the usual montage stuff, but as you can see on both of these clips I've used our little method that we have just learnt. This is just some fancy stuff, don't worry about it. So as you can see, with the Twixtor enabled, I was still able to use time remapping in its full capacity on both of the clips, and let's just watch it back real quick, analyze it. So as you can see, both of these clips had really slow-mo parts in them that would look really choppy otherwise. I can show you on this one. Let's just really quickly do this. You could see there, you could obviously tell the frames dropped to like 2, but if we were to just go back, re-enable it, absolutely flawless. So that's been this tutorial guys, thank you for sticking around. Drop a sub, drop a like. The last tutorial I made really did well, so if you want me to make more of these, please, I beg you. Alright, peace.